Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another BJ&Co Minecraft tutorial video. Today we're continuing on our Skyfactory 3 achievement book series, so we're helping you get all the achievements in Skyfactory 3 if you need a little bit of help. And today in particular we are going to continue on Alchemic Wizardry, which is blood magic. And we're going to finish up the last two pieces of blood magic that we have today, which is using the Sigil, the Phantom of the Bridge, to walk over the void, and automate the creation of demonic slates, which is nice because you need demonic slates to make the Sigil the Phantom. We already know how to make them with our tier 5 altar, but we need to get lots of them. Particularly if we want to do all sorts of fun stuff with upgrading our altar and all that jazz. So before we get going, guys, I want to give a shout out to the Living Troll, who is he's back in all of our videos and comments, everything. We love having you around, man, so thank you. As well as Fun Nugget 12, I'm pretty sure I'm butchering that name, who I think watched the entire series in one evening, which is fantastic. It was great to see that, and we loved you talking with us in the comments and all that fun jazz, so props to you, man. And of course, the biggest thank you of all, Yo Man, in the background there, with all the diamond blocks, just showing how important he is to us, because he supports us over on our Patreon page. So if you guys want to help us out, check out the Patreon page. But if you don't have the money to spread around, consider just doing the little things. Pressing that like button, subbing to the channel, hitting the bell to get notified when all of our videos go live, and join the community. There's Discord links, there's Facebook pages, all that fun stuff down below. We'd love to see you guys around. So let's get on into it. First things first, guys, demonic slates. We want to automate the creation of them. And I would suggest you want to do this after you make the Ritual of Suffering, or the Well of Suffering, like we did last episode, which allows us to spawn mobs above it, and then they just get killed by the ritual, and the ritual feeds blood right into our blood altar, which allows it to stay full, which allows us to automate things like we've got going on right here. So automation of demonic slates. The blood altar, if you put a stone into it, and as long as it's got enough blood, it will keep sucking the blood and upgrading things. So if you drop one stone into it, it will turn it into the blank slate, and then it will continue to the reinforced, imbued, and the demonic, as long as nothing pulls it out of the altar, and as long as the altar has plenty of blood. To ensure that my altar has plenty of blood going on, I have made a bunch of these runes of sacrifice. I've got 3 sides in it already, so that's 39, 42 runes of sacrifice, which is great because you can see as this is working, even at the higher tiers, I think this is tier 3 or 4 right now, you can see it is draining blood right now. We can't hear anything being killed, and but it's still not draining fast enough because it's only doing one at a time. And that is the hardest piece in Skyfactory 3 to do, is to ensure that when this is happening, you don't have full stacks of things in your blood altar. Because if I just hook this up, you can see here I've got a chest with my stone in it. I've got a hopper underneath and right into here. It would dump 64 straight into it. There we go. Plenty of blood left over. And now you can see the blood's going back up very quickly. So it would drop 64 straight into here, no problem. And then your altar would be kind of stuck having to process 64 of them all at the same time, eating up a lot of blood, not spitting anything out until it's done. And if you run out of blood partway through, you'd have a very big problem. So, pretty easy setup here, guys. I've just got the, I mean, I guess this doesn't even have to be in and out. This just has to be extract. Yeah, that just has to be extract. So, to pull out of my blood altar, I've just got some Ender IO conduit. You could do a hopper underneath, but hoppers underneath might give you a bit of an issue. The way I like this one, so I've got my Ender IO conduit with extract here and insert here. And then on this end, I've set up a basic item filter to blacklist, so it will not pull out these items. And it's not going to pull stone, blank slate, reinforced slate, imbued slate. If I wanted to mix this up and say I need a bunch of blank slate to make some runes, I could just take this out, and then it'll just keep pulling out as soon as it's blank slate and everything. So this is, I've set this up so it can be versatile. I can switch it up for whatever my needs are in terms of runes. So you can see here it's pulling them all out, and as we get the demonic slates, they're slowly coming on in. This other side looks fairly simple to start. We've just got your hopper, you've got your chest on top. Drop as much stone in there as you would like. Probably at some point I will set up an automatic extractor system well, I've got Automate Stone Creation in my Refined Energistics system. Is that the one it is? Wow. It's been a while since I've been in this world, but my storage system. And when I do that, then I will probably set it up so that I looked right there, and I'm like, oh my god, my squid farm's falling over. But that's just the lapis I have over there. So then I can set it up so that my system actually exports straight to this. So it's always full on stone, can always be creating demonic slates. And set it up with a crafting card in there so that it will also, whenever it needs more stone, it'll make it. That's a fairly simple setup that I would like to add to this eventually, but I rush through things in this, get to the important pieces for you guys, and I don't pre it up. So I should do that more. If I have some time on some live streams, I would love to do that. So I hope you guys check that out. But now we need to stop the hopper from dumping things down every tick. So how I've done that is we've just got a stone here with the redstone torch on it, and then we're using a timer. Now, I tried using the timer directly with item conduits and everything, but the redstone conduits and the timer itself don't behave very nicely. And because there's the conduits pull on a specific time that doesn't line up necessarily with the ticks, and it pulls like 4 at a time and everything. It was very funky. So sometimes it would work well, like you place it down initially, it starts, and then the mishmatch happens, and then it misses ticks and all sorts of stuff. So I found the easiest way, let's keep things simple. Go with the timer, go with the torch, go with the hopper. Much easier. Now the timer puts out a very quick burst when it sets the timer out. So I've used the repeater here just to delay it a little bit so that we get a longer tick, so we can ensure that the redstone torch does the flip that it needs to. Now, if you're well versed in Minecraft, this should make total sense to you. If you're fairly new to redstone, the reason we're doing this is because hoppers interact kind of interestingly, where they will not do anything if there is a redstone source beside it. So this torch here is basically always on, which is torches invert what they've got. So if this block is not powered, the torch will be on. As soon as this block is powered, it turns off. So this torch stops this from doing anything. The timer emits the signal into the block, and as soon as the block gets the signal, which is delayed a little bit, so it's a stronger signal, it lasts a little bit longer by 2 ticks, then the torch goes off, which is just enough to allow it to drop for the hopper to start working for a tick, and it pulls 1 stone into the hopper. Might pull a couple at a time. Don't know how long I've been looking. But then it will also output 1 stone into here, which is exactly what we want. And then I've set this up in such a way because we want it to only do that so that it has enough time for this in here, the stone, to process, which usually takes about 10 ticks, but there's some buffering at the beginning and the end. You'll notice when a stone drops in, the blood mystical animations don't start up right away. So I've given myself about 15 seconds in order to do that. And in the timer here, so it's 20 ticks per second, so 300 ticks will get you to about the 15 seconds that we need. So this way it will do a pulse, the stone will drop out, you'll have enough time for that stone to change into blank slate, and then as soon as it does that, the hopper will not be able to push in another stone because there's slate in there already. So then it will have to wait, even though this is keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, it will allow so the hopper will fill up, of course, but then the hopper will not output until it gets the first tick from the first time the redstone torch goes off after the blood altar is empty again, which is exactly what we want, so it's not overfilling. That's why the timer. And now we could have set this to an even longer timer based on the time it takes stone to turn into blank slate to reinforce to yada 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 all the way up to demonic. But I've left it at the 15 seconds because of the fact that I may want to use this not just for demonic slate, right? If I want to make a whole bunch of blank slate, the 15 seconds still works. It won't output a new one until the last one is pulled out, which is perfect. If I want the second tier, the reinforced, it'll do the exact same thing. So there we go, guys. That is exactly what I've done. It's not pretty. I might find a way to clean this up a little bit nicer. Maybe drop the hopper right above it. You know, clean things up a little bit more. But we'll play with that a little bit later. It's functional. Functional is what I like, so I can get all my demonic slate. So now, speaking of demonic slate, let's look at this sigil of the Phantom Bridge. So this one, fairly easy. We need an alchemic array. We need the demonic slate that we've got. And then we're looking for a phantom bridge reagent. And this reagent we need to make in the Hellfire Forge. We've got stone. We've got 2 things of soul sand. We've got obsidian. Not hard to obtain. And then we need a Tartaric gem, which is either going to be common, greater, or grand, which are the 3 top tier. And the reason it's got to be this big is because it needs to be something that can hold 600 will, and we'll end up draining about 50 of it when we go and do this. So, should not be too crazy. We're just going to go on over here. You can see I've already filled mine up to about 700 will quality. I'm going to pull all this stuff out, which I should have done earlier. So we need soul sand. We need stone. And we need some obsidian. And we need our common Tartaric. There we go. It's working. It's working. There's our reagent. And now that we have our reagent, we just need some arcane ash. Why don't we use up already? And the arcane ash, I don't want to do this. I mean, it worked over here before. We'll stick the arcane ash down. We will stick the phantom bridge. Oh, it's a work in progress. And then we hit the demonic slate into it. And here we go. I should not make sounds. There we go. Now we have the Sigil of the Phantom Bridge. Now this one, I believe, with most blood magic stuff, will allow us, well, we'll use some of our personal network of blood to work, so be very wary of that. Where's my sigil? Did I friggin' lose my sigil? Good thing I had 2, but that's kind of weird. Huh. I'm confuddled. So once you get the sigil, if you right click the first time, it sets the current owner, so it's pulling from your correct network. And then this one should work. Yeah. Then you just shift right click. Shift right click. And if you shift right click, then wherever you walk, it just pushes ahead. How cool is that? And I wonder if I'm not looking there. Yeah. So wherever I walk, it's just making a bridge for me. So I can just shortcut without even flying, which is kind of goofy. It's neat how this kind of shows up on the map too. Delays for a little bit. That is cool. Doesn't go around. How does it fill things around corners? Fills them nicely. And even here, yeah, so it'll stay at the level that I want to be. Oh! Whoop. And that's why you keep flying on too at the same time. Oh, that was neat. Oh, because I landed on the... I landed on the torch. So it kept me at that. Like, I wonder if I just... Yeah, as soon as I land on something else. Because I can't, like... Oh, no! You can even go higher with it. As soon as I go down and crouch, it works. I wonder if I could... Okay, let's test some stuff up. We're going to move over here. It works going down too. Oh, that's cool. That is a neat sigil. I quite enjoy that one there. So that's the 2 that we were gonna knock out today, guys. We've got the Sigil of the Phantom Bridge, we've got the demonic slates. It's all working. And that basically, now that we have got the tier 5 altar, we've played with our first rune, and as well we've started the automation of all of these fantastic slates. You've got the power to do what you would like in blood magic. There's lots more that we can explore. There's a bunch, I mean, when we were looking at our rituals in the Diviner, there's a whole bunch of different things that we can do along that route that have different aspects. Explore them, see what they do for you. We've also touched absolutely nothing to do with the alchemy table or any of these demon crucibles, crystallizers, demon will clusters, which is kind of interesting. It opens a whole nother side of things that we can do. There's also all these cool stones and colorful stuff that come from those crystals. I think I might, well, we might do that live stream stuff. And then there's all sorts of different pieces. I mean, even these teleportation focuses. We can get sentient gear as well. I would also love to probably spend some time grabbing all the upgrades for the gear here, so that we can get the different, we can make our gear exactly what we want it to be. But yeah, no, there's some interesting things. And then there's also, if I remember correctly, there is, yeah, some routing nodes and stuff that allow us to kind of move signals and things around and items in Blood Magic. So neat things to still explore at some point, but for now we've done everything that we need to get through the achievement book in Blood Magic. So now we're kind of back to figuring out where we're going next. We could work on some more power with more reactors. We can, I mean, a solar array multi-block, that shouldn't be too hard at this point. That might be hitting up very easily. We got some tinker stuff too that should not be too hard, including the builder's wand and everything. And then I think we've got a bit of Botania to go. We've got Draconic Evolution, which is always interesting. I think that one will be coming up fairly shortly. I just got to get the resources going for it because it's a little intensive to say the least. To do the, and then we got to automate wither farming, all this fun stuff that's in here. Lots of Draconic, lots of exploration still, and Insanity. I mean, the Insanity is going to be fun. We've started some of them. The 1 billion RF for tech, that's going to be crazy. But we're getting there. Like, we're starting to get onto some of the busiest pieces of this Skyfactory that just take a lot of time to set up and push through and all that jazz. So that's it for this week, guys. I think we'll be tackling the solar array next week. I think that will be relatively easy to get through as I focus on all my other pieces that I need to get working. Like, gotta get this guy behaving a bit more. Oh, interesting. Do I have Knock'em in there yet? I do. So I just need more seeds in him. That's what I need there. Jeez. Okay, gotta get this stuff working. But that's it for this week, guys. If you enjoyed this, smash that like button and consider subscribing to the channel for updates of when all the new content goes live. If there's things I can do to improve, let me know down in the comments below, or if you just want to chat, we love hearing from you guys. And check out all the fun links below of different ways you can support us and hang around with the BJ&Co crew. We've got a Patreon link down below. We've got our Discord that you can come join. We've got our Facebook page, all that fun stuff. So thank you very much for watching, guys, and we'll see you all in the next one. Bye!